Hello, niggas, Mac here, and today I'm talking about the Deadline Adversary Mode in GTA Online. Now, this is a new Adversary Mode in GTA Online, and it is actually very, very good. So this was added a few days ago into GTA Online, as well as some new clothing, as well as a new bike into GTA Online. And I want to just talk about the Adversary Mode here, but they did also add a few other things into GTA Online over the past couple days. So as for this Deadline Adversary Mode, it is a 4-player adversary mode where it's essentially like Don't Cross the Line. That's the best way to describe it. If you have played Don't Cross the Line from Finance and Felony, if you don't know how to do that, you have to have an office, and you have to, basically if you sit down on the couch in your office, for your CEO office, and you have other people with you, and they sit down on the couch as well, you can play Don't Cross the Line. It's a 4-player adversary mode, and this is essentially that, but it is now in a 3D space, which is a lot of fun. It's a very interesting adversary mode, but this does have power-ups. It's in a 3D world. It's got a lot different maneuvers and stuff like that, with jumps and ramps and stuff like that, and it's actually a very good adversary mode. So this adversary mode, you are driving the new Shotaro bike, which is a new bike in GTA Online. I haven't bought it in GTA Online because it's like $2 million, and it's not really even worth it. I mean, it's the new fastest bike, but not by much. Compared to the other ones, so it's really not worth it if you want my honest opinion on the bike. However, it does look very cool, and whenever you are driving, you have a line behind you, and the line doesn't exist forever, much like Don't Cross the Line. Unlike Don't Cross the Line, where your line stays forever in that game mode, in here, in this adversary mode, Deadline, it goes away. I'm not sure how long it is, but it's not that long of a line behind you. But I guess maybe that's a good thing, so that, the map can be traversed pretty easily. And pretty much, if somebody hits your line, you get a kill and they die. Also, if you hit a wall and then you stay in that one spot for too long, you will die as well. You'll explode. And also, there's no brakes in this adversary mode, so you can't just stop. Well, you can brake, but you can't, fully stop whenever you are on your bike, so keep that in mind. There's also 3 power-ups in this adversary mode. First up is the boost, which is very simple. You take this power-up, and then you just boost a little bit faster, mostly like in GTA races, where you have those boosts. And this is good, but it also can be a detriment. You have to use it in the right scenarios. If you're gonna, if you're neck and neck with somebody, you can get a boost, and then go faster than them, then just cut them off, and then you get that kill. There's also another power-up, which is zoned, which is pretty much slow motion. I believe it's slow motion for everyone on the map. So that one's pretty good, although I don't find it too helpful all the time. I usually use it whenever I'm about to get killed or something like that, and or I'm about to fall off the map or something. Then I'll use it, but for an actual competitiveness, I don't see that using that well. Finally, there's another one, which is a jump power-up. And this one is kind of nice as well. It's more of a reactionary thing, in my opinion. You can't really use it in many scenarios where you're actually going to go out and get a kill with it. It seems to mostly be, if you're in a bad situation, you can just jump over their line, and while they won't die necessarily, you can survive. And surviving is the name of the game for the most part. There are 2 settings. One is deathmatch, which is whoever gets the most kills in a certain time limit, they get the win. And I have not actually played that, and I don't think that that's as fun, because everybody's just gonna go for each other. It doesn't reward you staying behind the lines. The other one is a last team standing kind of thing, or I guess last person standing, because this is definitely a free-for-all game mode. And that one is probably my favorite. Basically, usually it's 6 lives, and you can change that if you want, but most people just keep it at 6 lives. So this game mode is actually a lot of fun. If you have not tried it out, I definitely say go try it out. There's also another feature, which is if you press B, it's basically your cinematic camera. So if you know that button, whenever you're on a vehicle, that's what button you have to press, and it will take you into this overhead view. I don't use this much. I don't find a much point of it, aside if you want it to look like Don't Cross the Line. But me, I feel like if I ever do use it, I'm gonna get hit, or I'm not gonna see what's actually going on, and so that would be quite difficult. But if you do use that, then the option is there for you. There are a few things I would have liked a little bit more with this game mode. One is the maps feel a little barren. I mean, there's not much on these maps. I would have liked, maybe a few tunnels or, other pathways in these maps, because a lot of the maps are just squares with a few jumps, and that's kind of it. They're not necessarily bad maps, but I would have liked a little bit more on them. Also, I would have loved more players. Only having 4 players is kind of a disappointment in my opinion. I understand why they only want 4, but something like 8 probably would have been better, at least in my opinion. Maybe they'd have to expand the maps a little bit, but I feel like that would make it a little bit more chaotic, which I think would have been, a lot better, but maybe that's just me. Also, I would have loved maybe a few more power-ups. It does kind of feel a little bit repetitive whenever there's only 3 power-ups. Some power-ups, like the ones from Power Play, would have been kind of nice. One that, inverts your control, so if you turn left on your controller, you're actually going to turn right in-game. That would be amazing. Maybe one that's like a no-gravity one, so you can, like, wall ride and stuff easier. That would have been kind of nice, but of course the maps would have to rely on that. But overall, it's a very fun adversary mode. If you have not checked it out, go ahead and check it out, because it actually seems like they put a lot of work into this adversary mode compared to some of the other ones, and it definitely deserves to be played. Also, to get the Shotaro bike and the Shotaro outfit, you have to actually play this adversary mode. I don't think you have to win it. I don't think you have to even play the entire match. I think if you just get into the match and then leave, you should get it. I'm not too sure if that's the case. But like I said earlier, the Shotaro bike's not that worth it, at least in my opinion. And so while it is a great adversary mode, I wouldn't call it my favorite. I don't even know if I put it in my top 5 really. But it's definitely something to not skip over. Anyways, some of your thoughts on this in the comments. What are your thoughts on the new Deadline adversary mode? And what are your thoughts on the Shotaro bike? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. Hope you all enjoy feedback. So I'll see you guys in the next video.